diets have become like religions for many people. There's certain people on one side who are saying never eat carbs, go keto, maybe even go carnivore. And people on the other side who are saying plant-based and vegan diets are best, eat higher carb, eat no animal products. And it can feel really confusing to be in the middle, not knowing what to believe, because it's clearly working for many people on both sides. And it's also clear there's a bio-individual aspect of nutrition. Certain foods, certain carb amounts seem to work better for different kind of people. Well, what I want to do in today's video is actually help you demystify some of this stuff. I'm going to play an old video I shot a few years back on the 7 principles of healthy eating. That's the through line of all successful diets. This is the stuff that transcends dogma. These are the principles that work. Whether you're on the right or the left of this nutrition landscape, you stick to these principles, you will be healthy. And you're also going to be able to figure out what works for you by adhering to these principles. Let's get into today's video. So the purpose of this video is to try to find that guiding line, the through line that connects all of these different seemingly disparate and oppositional diets into something that we can all agree on. And these are 7 principles of nutrition that I believe are the core foundations. Whether you're following a ketogenic diet right now or a plant-based diet, these are things we can all agree on, and which means these things we can come together on and base our eating plans around. And the first thing that we're going to dive into is that we need to eliminate processed sugars. In prep for this video, I looked up a statistic, and here in the United States, the average American eats 152 pounds of sugar per year. That's 3 pounds of sugar per week, which is absolutely insane. And it's one reason that we're having so many health problems. What we're really facing here in the United States, and I'm sure if you're in Europe or Asia or other places, you're starting to see this stuff too, is the rise of people who can no longer regulate their blood sugars. They're packing on fat, they're becoming pre-diabetic and diabetic. And essentially what happens is when we eat too much sugar, our body cannot keep up. We eat all this sugar, it goes through our digestive process, goes into the bloodstream. Our pancreas has to pump out so much insulin to try to shuttle that sugar out of the blood, because sugar floating in the blood for long periods of time is toxic and bad. So the insulin's doing its work, but guess what? When we slam that pancreas day after day, our cells become insulin resistant. Insulin doesn't work as well, so insulin stays higher. We start to gain fat, and we're on the road to diabetes, we're on the road to weight gain, and guess what? Eating all that sugar, it doesn't keep you satiated like eating whole foods. So you end up drinking that sugar from soda, for example, you get 200 grams of sugar, and you're still gonna be hungry in an hour. So that's why sugar is absolutely something terrible, and we can all agree on that. People who go keto, and the subset of people who are going carnivore inside keto, well, guess what? They're eliminating those processed sugars. And those that are going plant-based also can agree that it's not a good idea to get sugar into your diet. And now, I really want to make this first key point. This does not mean that natural foods that contain some sugar, like blueberries, like organic kiwis, like an apple, they have health benefits. And it's not the same thing as getting processed sugars, as getting natural sugars that are mixed up in the matrix of the fiber, the vitamins, the minerals, those phytochemicals. Dramatically different thing than drinking a soda and having an apple. So I don't want to necessarily throw the baby out with the bathwater, but I will say this. If you're a person who feels like your body is not processing sugar well, you have weight gain, you're tired all the time, then lowering your carbs, if not going on a very, very, very low carbohydrate diet for a while, can be one of the most healing things you can do for your body. Cleans up that glucose regulation, and it's going to get you on the path to health. So that's number 1. Number 2 is we want to eliminate low quality animal products. We don't talk enough, when we look at nutrition, we're looking at, like steak or fish, what are the nutrients in there? Is there vitamin D? Is there iron? Are there omega-3 fatty acids? The protein. Well, we gotta take a step back and we gotta look at what did that animal or that fish or that egg, when that was produced, what did that organism eat? When we eat higher up in the food chain, we need to start worrying about what we ate. And that's the omnivore's dilemma. There is a big difference, and everyone in the keto carnivore camp can tell you this, between eating a high quality grass-fed steak, for example, and eating corn-fed beef. The fat composition is completely different. Is that surprising to you? Because in one scenario, the animal's eating what it's intended to eat, grass. It produces more CLA and healthier fatty acids in there. And when an animal's fed low-quality GMO corn, then the fat composition is totally different. It has more omega-6s, it's more inflammatory, and our body responds differently to these kinds of foods. So what we know from the research, particularly that links animal product consumption with cancer, is that it comes from the highly processed, salted, low-quality animal products. Get those out of your diet. If you want to go purely plant-based, then you eliminated that issue completely. If you want to keep animals into your diet, then you better eat the highest quality animals. Again, so this means that even applies to eggs, right? If you're going to have eggs in your diet, there's a big difference between having a pasture-raised egg. That egg yolk will be more orange than a store-bought crappy egg where you have a yellow egg yolk. And there's difference in nutrition from that. And this applies to your fish as well. You do not want to eat low-quality fish. It's packed with mercury. And guess what? Microplastics. Where are we throwing our plastic? In the ocean. Where's that plastic ending up? Inside the fish we're eating. When we eat higher in the food chain, we need to worry about the quality that much more. And we can all agree on we want to get the lowest quality processed meats out of the diet. Things like chicken nuggets, bologna, ham, Spam, pretty much any meat that's served at most fast food restaurants, these are the things that cause a problem. What we do know is when we have these low quality salted meats, higher in nitrites, that interacts with our gut bacteria and it produces different secondary digestion products that actually damages our enterocytes, those cells that line our colon. That's why meat is linked to colon cancer. So we'll get to this again when we talk about number 5, digestion, absorption, elimination. This is why low quality animal products gotta go. Number 3, eat a wide variety of organic fruits and vegetables. Our bodies need a wide array of nutrients to function optimally. So we all know the macronutrients, the protein, the carbs, and the fats that ultimately equal the calories that we eat, but micronutrition is so important. These are all the vitamins and minerals that you need to carry out the millions of enzymatic reactions that keep you alive every single day. And guess what? The best way to get those is by eating a wide variety of things that are different colors. This is why no nutritionist would argue that you should eat the rainbow. That's great nutrition advice because you eat things that are green. They have different nutrients in them than things that are orange and red, which have more of the vitamin A's. It's actually the phytochemicals and the nutrients themselves that lead to coloring of these things. So a really cool example is like blueberries. They have these things called proanthocyanidins, and those same things that make black rice black is what makes blueberries blue. So we eat the rainbow, we eat a wide variety of different things, we get a lot of these phytochemicals, vitamins, and nutrients, and we're also getting a diverse range of different types of fibers, which is essential for helping keep our cholesterol levels in check, for lining our digestive tract, for feeding our gut microbiome, which we're going to talk about in just a second. So we want to eat a wide variety of foods. I think I saw this a study of people in Okinawa. They talk about how like Okinawa and Japanese people live for so long. They have one of the highest percentage of people who are centenarians. Well, guess what? That's changing now that they're getting westernized. Now that they got McDonald's and they have all the same things we have elsewhere. People are dying young just like they are here in the United States. And guess what they also found is the diversity and the number of different types of foods that the old school Okinawans ate was like 30 plus different types of fruits, vegetables, and roots and different stuff per day. Now it's like down to like 5 to 6. This is impacting our health. Eat a wide variety of foods. This is why one simple habit that I absolutely love is either doing a morning shake that has a bunch of these things loaded in there, blended up, it's like a super shake, or a salad in the middle of the day, which is amazing because you can throw different types of fruits and veggies and all these things in the salad and you're eating a wider range of things. If you do not have a habit every single day of getting diverse foods in, like the salad or the super shake or something like that, then it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough and you probably won't execute on this vital habit. And I want to say this too, is you also got to figure out in this category of plant compounds, which plants agree with you, because there are certain plant foods that cause immune reactions in certain people. That's why certain people feel better on the carnivore diet because they were eating foods that inflamed them previously. Wheat is a very common inflammatory food for a lot of people. In the plant kingdom, not something I necessarily recommend you have high amounts in your diet. But there's also certain foods like beans, legumes, certain nightshade vegetables that trigger some people. So start to pay attention. When you eat a food, how does it make you feel? That's going to be different for you than me. And that's why I can't tell you that something like a tomato or a bell pepper is a quote-unquote healthy food. Maybe good for you, might not be good for me. But start paying attention. Signs that you'll notice after you eating something that's not agreeing with your body: gas, bloaty, just doesn't feel right in your stomach. You feel heavy. You might feel tired. You might feel aches and pains in your joints. You might get mucus, like you eat something and 10, 15 minutes later, your nose is now stuffed and you're feeling your throat's getting scratchy. That's your body actually creating an immune reaction, producing more mucus because it's got something in the body that it does not like and it's trying to bind that and stick that stuff together so it can be eliminated and handled. Pay attention to your body. Find the fruits and veggies that you actually thrive on and get those in your diet. Number 4, support the gut microbiome. Cannot stress more important stuff about this. A key concept is you as a human being, you are a human tube. There is a tube that runs from your butt all the way through your anus, and as a weird visual, I like to bring this up because it's jarring, but it's so true, is if I had a long enough string, I could floss you on either end. And this is really vital to understand because your digestive tract is lined. You're this tube that's lined with different kinds of bacteria that when you eat, that food interacts with your gut microbiome. It's broken down and digested by that bacteria. The types of foods you eat actually shift those bacterial populations around, and your entire immune system is concentrated in your digestive tract. And we know that people who are overweight versus people who are lean have different proportions of different gut bacteria. So when we eat a wide variety of different kinds of fiber-containing foods that are good for our gut microbiome, we get more of the good guys. The lactobacillus, the bifidobacterium, the guys you see on the back of the probiotics bottles in the supplements. Those are some good guys that start to, they live and thrive off fiber, so they start to increase their amounts. And some of these other bacteria that cause problems start to lower. And so we always want to take care of our gut microbiome. So number one, good fiber they like to thrive on. Two, get fermented foods that contain these probiotic bacteria into your diet every single day. So before shooting video today, I had some coconut kefir, which is like a coconut yogurt with probiotics. You might have heard of kombucha, something like sauerkraut, maybe like natto. Look up a list of the best fermented foods, find one you love, get it in the fridge, take it on a regular basis. Eating fermented foods just lines the digestive tract with the good bacteria. They help you burn fat, they help you increase your immune system, they are involved in mood and memory. People who are depressed or schizophrenic have different gut bacterias. We don't know if it's like the gut bacteria is causing that, but it's definitely, there's some relationship that we're starting to unpack. These guys are hugely important. And then you might have heard the term prebiotics. Well, these are the fiber that those gut bacteria thrive on, so that's why I defer to rule number 3. You're eating a wide variety of different fruits and vegetables, you're getting the fiber these guys love. The pectin from the apple, you're getting some different soluble fibers from the oatmeal, you're getting insoluble fiber from your greens. It's creating all the good, essentially the environment in your gut microbiome that you need to thrive. Number 5, we're not taught this as kids, but if you have kids, teach them this. When we think about nutrition, we've gotten so used to looking at the nutrient label and looking at calories, protein, carbs, fats, and maybe if you know what you're doing, you're looking down the ingredient list and you're seeing what's this food actually made of, not just paying attention to the calories. And I even think all of that is short-sighted. When we look at a food, we need to look at the 3 phases that food goes through. Digestion. How well is that food digested? You know that certain foods digest better than others. I'm sure you've seen corn in your poop. You didn't digest that corn that you ate. It came out the other end. Absorption. Once digested, how well is that food actually absorbed through your GI tract? I'm sure you've eaten a ton of pizza and beer sometime and you had a terrible bowel movement the next day, gurgly, all this stuff, or maybe it makes you feel great and you're the outlier. But you know that you eat certain foods, it leads to like sludgy, bad poops. Obviously there was a digestive problem there, maybe even a problem with how those foods were combined. And finally, elimination. How long does it take that food to exit your tube? We got to think about all 3 phases. And guess what? Certain foods are easier to eliminate than other foods. So guess what takes a long time to get through your body? Animal products. It takes a lot longer for a steak to get through your body than it does watermelon. Watermelon might exit within 6 to 12 hours. A steak can take 24, maybe 48 hours. It can take a long time. And guess what? Some of those food particles don't actually exit your colon. They get stuck in there and you can compile poop over time. This is why people who go on juice fasts or water fasts find that they continue to poop out stuff that's just been sitting in their digestive tract. It's true. You're full of shit. I am too. And this is just the reality of things. That's why we need to optimize digestion, make sure things are eliminated well. So what is eliminated really well? Fruits, vegetables, eliminated very well. And if you do have animal products, make sure you pair them with green things. Always pair an animal product with some kind of green veggie. As a good rule of thumb, especially if you can tolerate that, so something like some spinach or some baby green mix with a piece of animal protein if you have that in your diet, because it's going to help move that food faster through your GI tract. Insoluble fiber, the kind of fiber you find in leafy green vegetables, speeds up the transit time. It makes things move through your tube faster. And this is why what we absolutely know we do not want are animal products sitting in our GI tract for long periods of time, getting fermented, creating these secondary metabolic compounds that can damage our gut and our digestive tract. So digestion, absorption, elimination. There's individual differences. You may eliminate foods. You find that you eat a certain food, pay attention. How well are your how well and well-formed and easy are your bowel movements the next day? If they're good, healthy bowel movements, this is a food that's jiving well with your body. If you ate a combination of things that didn't work well, your poop is going to tell you that. Pay attention to that. And I promise you, if you combine fruits with a steak, for example, that is a weird, bad food combination that's going to lead to a lot of digestive stress. Because think about it this way. Every time you eat a food, your body needs to create the perfect environment to digest that particular food. And the pH of the stomach and the enzymes that are involved in the small intestine is different for a watermelon than it is for a steak. That makes sense, right? Steak, dense in proteins, dense structures that need to be broken down with the hydrochloric acid. Watermelon, basically water. So these need two different digestive environments. And if we combine those two things into one meal, the body has to make compromises. It's not optimally digesting steak and it's not optimally digesting watermelon. So pay attention to the foods that you're combining. Some foods combine better than others. And as a general rule of thumb, don't eat fruit after your meals. Fruit is very quick, fast digesting. Eat fruit before your meals. So you'll find if you eat fruit and you feel gassy and bloated after meals, it's not that your body doesn't necessarily tolerate fruit well, it's that it doesn't tolerate fruit after you have a sandwich sitting in your stomach first. So consider that. Number 6, and this could have been number 1 up there, but your diet has to be properly balanced with the energy intake. You have to have the proper number of calories. I don't care if you go on a low-carb ketogenic diet or a plant-based diet. If you're vastly undereating or vastly overeating, that diet is not great for you. If you're vastly undereating, that's a stress for your body. You're going to raise your cortisol levels. Your metabolic rate is going to slow over time. You want to eat the right number of calories. Now, I'm a fan of intermittent fasting. I'm a fan of some calorie restriction, but you want to make sure you're not starving yourself. And on the flip side, you want to make sure you're not eating way too many calories, because guess what? Even eating healthy foods, you will gain weight. I could get you plenty fat on a diet of avocados, fruits, and different kinds of things. If we really loaded in the calorie density, we could make you gain weight. It's far less likely because healthy foods like these keep you more satiated, but do understand you have to have a general idea of what your calorie targets are. We'll throw below some of our free calorie calculators over at the Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project. They'll be linked in the description. Those are Google Sheets. They're open source. You click on those documents, you make a copy, you can type in your height, weight, age, activity factor, and it's gonna give you a ballpark. I'm not suggesting you need to count your calories, but you gotta have a general idea. And the way I like to manage it is, let's say that I'm eating breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner. That's my meal timing setup. That, or it could be intermittent fasting. But if I'm eating breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, and let's say I know I need 3,000 calories to maintain weight based on my activity level, I just divide it up throughout the day. So that means I'm basically having 3 800 calorie meals, 8, 16, 2,400 calories, and I'm getting a 600 calories of maybe a snack throughout the day. That could be one way to hit it. Or if you intermittent fast and you know you only need 2,000 calories per day and you have 2 meals, well, you have 2 1,000 calorie meals. You can have a lot of healthy foods during those times, and that is the benefit of compressing your eating window with intermittent fasting, skipping breakfast, maybe just having lunch, snack, dinner. You can eat more foods and still be inside your calorie target. But you gotta figure out what that is. My team and I can help you. We have free resources linked in the description below. And finally, principle number 7, it has to be simple. The purpose of this video is actually to try to make things a little more clear and a little less dogmatic. The best diet is the one that you can stick to. It's the one that includes foods you love. It's the one that makes your body feel good. And if it's super complicated, then it might work for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, but you eventually fall off track and you won't build a habit. So simplicity is key. And this is why we teach simple things over at the Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project, like the concept of doing something like a shake in the morning, a salad for lunch, some kind of snack that agrees with you, and supper is something like a perfect plate. This is what a perfect plate looks like. Half of your plate is some kind of veggie, a quarter is a protein, a quarter is some kind of healthy carb or healthy fat. You do that, I don't care what ends up being on that perfect plate. It could be tofu if you're plant-based. It could be wild salmon if you're eating, fish and stuff like that. It could be a different kind of green you love, but these simple concepts like perfect plates, shake, salad, snack, supper are really, really important. And my team and I are here to help you do this. We have incredible health and weight loss programs for busy moms and dads. We have over 26,000 people around the world using our programs. We'd love to have you join us too. There's links below in the description. So if you want more personal help, we're here to help you. Overall, I hope you found this video valuable. I hope it cleared some things up for you. I'm sure it also raised more questions. If you have those, drop them in the comments below. We'll shoot future videos on your exact questions. And above all, subscribe to our channels. We are here to really clear up and make this health, fitness, nutrition stuff simple and sustainable so you can stay healthy for both yourself and your family. We are the Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project. This is what we do. So subscribe. Drop me a comment or question below. Hit the thumbs up like button if you found this valuable, and share it with somebody who needs to hear this message too. And I look forward to seeing you subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you very soon in our future videos, my friend. Have a great rest of your day.